Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm gonna be trading and live chart. And I'll teach you guys how to trade your chart without using an indicator or pattern. It also known as naked trading. And I will also be sharing the signals in my free group. As you guys can see, you can join from the link in the description. And as you guys can see, I've said that we are starting in 10 minutes, so I'm gonna find a good signal so that other people can make profit, and I'll be sharing the signal as well. So let's find a good trade. It's as you guys can see, I've given the pair and expiration time in the public group. So I will be giving the signal in a bit 5-4. As you guys can see, I've given the signal and I've also entered my trade. We will see how does it go. So I've just entered this trade. Because as you guys can see, we were in a downtrend in here. And then we had an intermediate high in here. And then the markets went up from the intermediate high end. It was a clear breakout. And then we were in an uptrend. And we had a little bit of retracement. And then we just entered for an up trade in here. As you guys can see, we are kind of losing this trade. It was a close one, but I'll take that. As you guys can see, we have lost our first trade. As you guys can see, we were in an uptrend. I was expecting for it to continue the trend. But now we had a reversal. So we are going to move on to our next pair. As you guys can see in here, we are in a downtrend. And I'm expecting a downwards momentum in here. So we will just enter for down trade. As you guys can see, we are in a kind of a range in here. And then the market went down. And it came up. And then it is trying to go down. But we are seeing some rejections. The buyers here tried to push the market up. But then we saw some rejections. And that's why we have entered for a down direction. We will see how does it go. As you guys can see, we have lost another trade in here. Let's move on to our next trade. So in here, I'm expecting a downtrend because as you guys can see, we are in a slight downtrend, and because as you guys can see, we are here in a slight downtrend and in a kind of a range as well. And as you guys can see, I've given the signal in the private group as well to enter on the enter with the marginal safety. So we could see how does it go. As you guys can see, we have won our trade. Now we'll just enter. Now we have won our trade in here. Now let's move on to our next trade. So as you guys can see in here, we are in a kind of an option because we are making higher highs. As you guys can see top. So I'm expecting a green candle for 1 minute in here. After this candle, as you guys can see, we have entered our trade in and here. It's going pretty well. We have just entered our trade in here because we were an option, and then we had an engulfing candle. But then we also had a green candle that engulfed that engulfing candle. And we were an option. So it just makes it a higher probability setup. That is because we had an engulfing candle that engulfs the red engulfing candle. And we were an option. So it just makes it an high probability setup that the market can easily go up for 1 minute. So that's why we have entered our trading here. So we will see how does it go. So far we have 2 losses and 1 win. And if we win this year, we will have 2 losses and 2 wins. So as you guys can see, we have won our 4th trade as well. So we have 2 losses and 2 wins so far. So now we will just move on to our next trade. I'm going for an up trade in here, and that is because we were in a kind of a range in here. So I will just enter for an up trade. but we had a gap down opening. So we'll just give the signal to enter with the gap down. As you guys can see, we have entered our trade with the gap down. That's the thing I really hate about the OTC market. The gap down and gap UPS are really unpredictable. As you guys can see, we have won our next trade as well. So now we have 3 wins and 2 losses. So we will just move on to our next trade. I'm gonna go with the sellers in here. And that is because, as you guys can see, we are in a slight downtrend and the market is in a kind of range. So we can definitely expect a sell candle after this candle. So that is what we're gonna do. And we're gonna enter for down direction trade. And as you guys can see, I've given the signal in here and people have entered the trade in here, so we will see how does it go. It's not looking very good. So since we are in a profit in here, I'm gonna go with the MTG here. Even if we lose this trade, we will only lose our profit for the today. As you guys can see in here, we are in a profit, so we are only risking a profit. So as you all know that, we only take MTG when we are in a profit. And that's what we did. And as you guys can see, people have entered the trade for a down direction with an MTG. And we only use MTG when we are in a profit, so we only risk by profit. Not the initial amount. We never use MTG if we lose a trade with our initial amount. So as you guys can see, we are probably gonna win this trade. This candle was just there to grab some liquidity from this intermittent high. So as you guys can see, this was an intermittent high and this candle was just there to grab some liquidity. And when the market grabs liquidity, as you guys can see, the market went down with a great momentum. And that's how we want the trade. So I think this was a pretty good session for today's. So if you want to learn about price action, this is the channel you are looking for. And if you want to know the analytic behind the trades that I don't record and upload on the YouTube, I share the analysis behind those trade in my Telegram group. So if you want to, you can join our Telegram group. The link will be in the description. And if you have any doubt or questions, or if you want me to review your trades, you can also do that. Just message me on the Telegram, and I share these kind of signals in my public group every day. So if you want to make money while learning about pricey action, you can join our Telegram group. The link will be in the description. And until the next time we trade in a public group, and if you want to gain more experience without losing any money, so you can check out this video. And this video, I've given more examples about projection so that you can learn about projection without even trading and losing money and thus gaining more experience. I'll see you in the next video. Sayonara.